गुड आफ्टरनून ऑल ऑफ यू। आज हम करेंगे क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ फाइलम एस्केलमिंथस और नेमेटलमिंथस। The very first class, if you, mainly this phylum is divided into 7 classes, but we'll be doing 5 classes, 5 commonly available forms of this phyla. First of all, just see these two diagrams, Ascaris and Eukarya. See, if you see both of them, they look similar, but if you see, they belong to class Nematoda. So first class we'll be doing is class Nematoda, also known as roundworms. Right? So if we see, हम कुछ बहुत ही कॉमनली अवेलेबल पैरामीटर्स लेंगे इनको डिस्क्राइब करने के लिए. सो हेयर इफ यू सी द वेरी फर्स्ट पैरामीटर इफ वी सी इज हैबिटेट. राइट. सो जो निमेटोड्स हैं या राउंडवर्म्स हैं उनका हैबिटेट क्या होता है? एक्वेटिक होता है, और दे मे बी टेरेस्ट्रियल. अगर टेरेस्ट्रियल है तो फ्री लिविंग भी हो सकते हैं या पैरासिटिक भी हो सकते हैं. सो दे आर फाउंड इफ यू सी एवरीवेयर, कॉस्मोपॉलिटन. राइट. And if we see the next characteristic, that is body wall, these are the various characteristics of class Nematoda. Body wall, if you see, it is formed of cuticle. कल हमने किया था ना. The epidermis is syncytial. Syncytial epidermis बताया था ना कि there is no complete nuclear division is there, but no complete cytoplasmic division is there. एंड इवन जो क्यूटिकल है ना वो भी थिकन हो जाता है, ऐसे 4 कॉर्ड बनाता है. अगर हम सेक्शन ले इस तरह, इट फॉर्म्स 4 एपिडर्मल कॉर्ड्स. और लॉन्गिट्यूडनल मसल्स हैं, और लॉन्गिट्यूडनल मसल्स अगर आप देखोगे तो वो इस तरह जो है ना 2 डॉर्सोलेटरल कॉर्ड्स बना रही हैं और बैंड्स बना रही है, और 2 वेंट्रोलेटरल बैंड्स बना रही हैं. सो इस तरह ये जो है 4 लॉन्गिट्यूडनल मसल्स के बैंड्स हैं, और इस सेम वे इसी तरह 4 जो है वो एपिडर्मल कॉर्ड्स बनाती हैं बॉडी वॉल में. राइट. नेक्स्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इज, दिस वाज फर्स्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक. सेकंड, थर्ड वी सी डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम. निमेटोड्स में जो डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम है वो कंप्लीट है. राइट. दे हैव अ माउथ बाउंडेड बाय लिप्स. फेरिंग्स कैसा है? मस्कुलर फेरिंग्स है. और सी फेरिंग्स, जैसे ये फेरिंग्स है और इतना थिक मस्कुलर फॉर्म है कि जो फेरिंजियल रीजन है वो इस तरह से ट्राई रेडिएट बन जाता है. आगे समझे? यानी कि फेरिंग्स की कैविटी इतनी रिड्यूस हो जाती है बिकॉज इट इज हाईली मस्कुलर. करेक्ट. बट इंटेस्टाइन जो है वो नॉन मस्कुलर है. निमेटोड्स में. करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इफ यू सी इज एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम. कल हमने बताया था ना जो जनरली एस्केलमिंथस में एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम है दैट इज मेड अप ऑफ रेनेट सेल्स. तो यहाँ पर भी जो है रेनेट सेल्स हैं फॉर एक्सक्रीशन. राइट. एंड nematodes are basically a monotelic in nature. Fifth characteristic, if you see, is reproductive system. If you see here, in case of class Nematoda, there is sexual dimorphism. Yeah, one can make out whether this is male worm or फीमेल वर्म. यहाँ पर आप देखो एस्कैरिस में ये दो दो वर्म्स हैं. यूजुअली जो मेल वर्म्स है वो पोस्टीरियर एंड पर इस तरह बेंट होता है. मेल यूजुअली स्मॉलर होता है और उसका पोस्टीरियर एंड जो है कर्व्ड होता है. फीमेल का कर्व्ड नहीं होता है. करेक्ट. और apart from this there is cloaca or cloacal aperture is there in the posterior end, right. डेवलपमेंट जो है वो डायरेक्ट है. दैट मीन्स देर इज नो लार्वल स्टेज इन क्लास नेमाटोडा एंड द यंग वन it undergo at least 4 molting to get converted into adult. और इसके एग्जाम्पल मैंने बता ही दिया कि एस्कैरिस और विकेरिया आर द मोस्ट कॉमन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ क्लास नेमाटोडा. Correct. Next class, if you see, this is Paragordius, and Paragordius here is representing class Nematomorpha. राइट. अब इसके भी अब जस्ट उसका स्ट्रक्चर देखो ध्यान से, एकदम कितना थिक, ऐसा लग रहा है कि जैसे वायर लाइक एक वायर को जो है इस तरह से मोड़ दिया हो और वो वर्म की तरह लुक दे रहा हो. अब पैरागॉर्डियस में इफ़ यू सी, अगर हम इसका हैबिटेट देखें, राइट, हैबिटेट में इफ़ यू सी इट इज़ जनरली एक्वेटिक. राइट. एक्वेटिक में भी ये या तो फ्रेश वाटर में मिलता है या डैम्प सॉइल में, गीली सॉइल होती है, गीली मिट्टी में, वहाँ मिलता है, डैम्प सॉइल में मिलता है. और बहुत रेयरली ये मरीन होता है. नेक्स्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इज बॉडी वॉल. बॉडी वॉल में हम देखें क्यूटिकल जो है वो दिख ही रहा है ना, एकदम मेटल लाइक लुक दे रहा है. तो क्यूटिकल इज हाईली थिकेंड. ठीक है. और वो किसका बना है? कोलेजन फाइबर्स का बना हुआ है. थर्ड कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इफ यू सी इज डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम. Digestive system in case of class Nematomorpha, if you see, it is vestigial. Because it is vestigial in adult because it does not feed in this condition. Fourth characteristic, if you see, that is excretory system. We'll be talking about same characteristic. So in Nematomorpha, excretory system here it is absent. There is no excretory system. Fifth one is reproductive system. Here you will see that it is dioecious. Right? Dioecious, or you can say hermaphrodites. Gonads and reproductive ducts are paired. Cloaca is present. Right. Development, if you see, is indirect. That means they undergo larval stages. और जो larva होता है, that larva is spiny. It has got spines on its body and they have a protrusible proboscis also. The larva. Right. We are talking about larva. An example of Nematomorpha is Paragordius. It is very common example. Correct. Now, just have a look at this picture. This is Colotheca, and Colotheca, if you see, belongs to class Rotifera. So this is third class. Correct. If you see that Rotiferen, they are mostly freshwater forms. Very rarely they are marine. Right, neither they are epizoic. Epizoic का मतलब क्या है कि they do not live, unparasitically, or in non harmful way on other animals. So they are freshwater forms, very rarely marine or epizoic. Correct. Now second characteristic, if you see, that is body wall of rotiferans. If you see here, you can see, as you can make out from the diagrams, just see, cuticle is in the form of plates, and the cuticle is thickened so much that it is also called as lorica. And in the body wall, both circular as well as longitudinal muscles are present. Correct. Third characteristic is digestive system. Right. Here, if you see, digestive system is complete. Right. If you see here, you can make out, just see, this is head. Right. Head, if you see, it bears a ciliated corona. This encircled portion is known as corona, and this corona is ciliated. I think if it is clear, if you can see, large number of cilia are present around the head. So ciliated corona is there, and if you see, pharynx is highly muscular, although it's not seen here. Pharynx is highly muscular, and highly muscular pharynx is known as mastax. What is mastax? Highly muscular pharynx is known as mastax, and pharynx has got jaws also embedded in it. Correct. Now next, if you see, characteristic is excretory system. Here, if you see, excretory system is made up of protonephridia, and protonephridia over here is flame cells. It consists of few flame cells. Right. Now the last one is reproductive system. So in case of rotiferans, the rotiferans are dioecious. Again, dioecious means they are, bisexual, sorry, unisexual. They have male and female, different bodies. Males here, see, the typical characteristic of reproductive system of rotiferans is, here males either they are absent or they are present in degenerated form. What do you mean by degenerated forms? That means, if at all they are present, they degenerate after some time, or they disappear after some time. Correct. And male, if you see, in sexual reproduction, males sometimes carry out hypodermic impregnation. That means it transfers the sperms by piercing through the body wall. So this is a hypodermic impregnation. And another characteristic feature in reproductive system of rotiferans is that female lays two types of eggs: haploid eggs and diploid eggs. Haploid eggs are known as, you can say, mictic, and diploid eggs are known as amictic. Correct. Amictic eggs, if you see, these mictic eggs, they undergo fertilization. As a result, an zygote is formed, and this zygote, it develops into female rotiferans. And amictic eggs, even without undergoing fertilization, they develop into female. And those mictic eggs which do not undergo fertilization or which remain haploid, they develop into male rotiferans. Understood? So, if you see, males are produced parthenogenetically, whereas females they are produced by both methods, by undergoing fertilization or sexual reproduction, or by parthenogenetically. uh, uh, these diploid, from diploid eggs they directly develop into young ones. Correct? So here if you see, Colotheca is very common example, and there's another Ascomorpha also, which is Rotiferen, belongs to class Rotifera. Now if you see, the next class or the fourth class over here is class Gastrotrica. Right, Gastrotrica, if you see here also, if we see the just have a look, Gastrotrica. First characteristic is habitat. If you see here, they are always aquatic, right? Either they are marine water form or fresh water form, but they are always aquatic. Second thing, if you see body wall over here, cuticle is produced. Can you see the surface is not smooth here? So cuticle is produced into small, spines. Very small spines are present over the cuticle. Correct. Third characteristic is digestive system. Here if you see, digestive system is complete. Here again pharynx is muscular, and again here also pharynx has got triradiate lumen. Why? Because of the excess development of muscles at the pharyngeal region. Fourth characteristic is excretory system. They are studying few characters which forms the basis of classification: habitat, body wall, digestive system, excretory system, reproductive system. Only we are studying only these five characteristics. Here excretory system, if you see, again here it also consists of two protonephridia. They have not named which kind of nephridia, but there are two protonephridial cells which forms excretory system. Now reproductive system, here you'll see that here dioecious individuals are also present, as well as monoecious individuals are also present. Development is direct, that means there is no larval stage, and here also female develop पार्थेनोजेनेटिकली. जैसे मैंने प्रीवियस क्लास में बताया था, वैसे ही यहाँ पर भी फीमेल जो है पार्थेनोजेनेटिकली डेवलप करती है. Very common example is cephalodesis. Correct. Now, just see Echinoderella. This is, that belongs to class Chinorhyncha. Okay, Chinorhyncha. Here you'll see that if we see the habitat of just have a look first. Just see it is looking as if it is highly segmented, and so many paralegs or protrusions are coming out, but it is not so. Here if you see, here the habitat is, they are exclusively marine, right? Echinoderella is exclusively marine, belonging to class Chinorhyncha. Here, these, protrusions, if you see, these are nothing but cuticle. So here cuticle is, if you see the body wall, here cuticle is spiny, but without cilia. पीछे हमने दिखाया था ना, उसमें क्या था, सीलिया था, पर हेयर इट इज विदाउट सीलिया ओनली. This pointed needle-like structures are nothing but spines of derived from the cuticle. Digestive system, if you see over here, it is complete. In fact, pharynx has got salivary glands also. About excretory system, no description is given. Maybe they have not searched it, it has not been found, or like it is not neither absent also. There is no information about excretory system. Now, reproductive system, as far as is concerned, these animals are dioecious. That means they are unisexual, they are male and female individuals uh, in this type. Gonads, if you see, they form tubular sex. Development is indirect. That means they have larval stage. In fact, they undergo a series of juvenile stages, or series of larval stages. And Echinoderella is one very common example. Apart from Echinoderella, they have Campylodерus, they have Semnoderus. Correct. So if you see, just there are, in case of Aschelminthes, there are four classes: Nematoda, Nematomorpha, Rotifera, Gastrotrika, and the last one is Kynorinka. So these are the, all the seven classes are there, but we have talked about these five classes only, because about other classes not much is given. आपको अगर एग्ज़ाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से भी देखना है तो हर एक क्लास के, जैसे हमने 5 कैरेक्टर्स लिए ना, बस वो आप याद कर लेना और उनके एग्जाम्पल्स याद कर लेना. दिस इज़ ऑल, नॉट मच कॉम्प्लिकेशन is there in classification of phylum Aschelmintha. This is all for today. Thank you very much.